Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that, really cuts through the noise to get to the core of what makes ideas stick. Today, we're unlocking some really profound insights into what makes a brand truly resonate. Make it unforgettable, really. We're diving into the work of Ari Masudi. He's a business consultant, and honestly, his stuff on strategic branding, it's a masterclass. So if you're building a brand, if you're a startup founder, a designer, marketer, brand strategist, yeah, this deep dive is definitely free. We're zeroing in on something critical, but often kind of overlooked: core values. So many people hit a wall. They get stuck trying to pin down their core values during branding. So our mission today: give you a much clearer idea of what values really are, and more importantly, how they actually function in the real world. And to do that, we're using a case study, a highly successful one, and a polarizing, the personal brand of Donald Trump. Let's be super clear though, our focus, purely the branding mechanics. This isn't about politics at all. We're looking at how the brand works, not whether you agree with it.
Exactly. Think of your values like the GPS for your brand, whether it's personal or a startup. They're these sort of invisible lines guiding every single decision, every message, every interaction. Without them, it's like launching a startup without a compass, right? Just navigating by sight, changing course all the time. That's a quick way to lose your way and lose your audience too. Defining values isn't just some superficial thing like picking a font. No, this is deep work, foundational. It determines if your branding feels real, authentic, or just, artificially perfect like an Instagram filter. We want to help you make your values work for you, attract the right stuff.
Okay, so let's kick off with something maybe a little uncomfortable. Our first revelation: your values actually mirror your deepest needs. That's a big one.
It is, and it's the truth many kind of shy away from. Your values don't just appear out of nowhere. They really emerge directly from your deepest needs: physiological, psychological, social, and that's their power right there. Understanding this is key.
Okay, uncomfortable truth. That's quite a phrase. Can you give us a solid example? How does this actually play out? Because this is where the Trump case study gets really interesting. Masudi's analysis shows core values: winning, strength, loyalty. They weren't just plucked out of the air. They came from his, let's say, perceived need to overcome an American leader in business. And look, whether you like his methods or not, his audience connected with those values because they spoke directly to their needs. For decisive leadership, national pride.
Precisely. It's what we call the magic equation. Needs plus authenticity. Magnetic value. Simple but powerful. Now, to start this yourself, you need to do some, let's call it self-archaeology, like digging into your own professional history. We're trying to unearth the bedrock motivation. So start asking yourself things like, when do you feel most alive at work? Or what deeply revolts you in your industry? What just makes your blood boil? And also, what compliments do you tend to get most often from clients, colleagues? These questions really get to the core. Then step 2 is translating that into actual value. With Trump, his need for, say, recognition and control, that translated directly into values like dominance in negotiations, unwavering confidence, that America first patriotism. These weren't abstract ideas, they were responses to needs he felt deeply. That's why the connection was so strong.
Okay, so values stem from our needs. What's the biggest mistake people make? Is there like a fatal error to watch out for? Oh, absolutely. Masudi flags this clearly. The fatal error to avoid is copying someone else's values. It's like trying to wear someone else's clothes, It never fits right. And consumers, your audience, your clients, they spot it just feels. Trump's authenticity, again, setting politics aside, came because his values genuinely reflected his personality, his worldview. They weren't borrowed. That's the crucial thing. You just can't fake that deep alignment.
Right. So we know where they come from, but what if I told you one of your most, maybe uncomfortable emotions could actually be your best guide? Our next insight is about how anger, surprisingly, can be your best advisor. Sounds weird, I know, doesn't it? But it's kind of a secret weapon. A personal branding coaches sometimes guard. Your frustration, they're gold nuggets. Seriously, they reveal your deepest value. We call it the frustration mining method. First step, identify your recurring triggers. What makes you jump onto LinkedIn ready to argue? What practices in your industry just disgust you? What do you find yourself naturally fighting against? Okay, once you've got those triggers, step 2 is translating them into positive value. So let's say you're deeply frustrated by a lack of transparency. Boom, that points to a value of honesty. Or maybe anger at inequality. That translates into equity. Annoyance with just mediocrity. That points to excellence. See how those negative feelings become these really powerful positive drivers.
That link, it sounds incredibly potent. Why is that connection between frustration and value so effective? Can you maybe unpack that a bit more with the Trump example?
Yeah, absolutely. Applying it to Trump makes it crystal clear. Sure. His frustration with, say, complex political jargon, that led straight to the value of plain speaking. His annoyance with drawn-out negotiations, that became deal-making efficiency. Worries about global competition, that fueled the America First patriotism value, and all the criticism he got from the media, that led to direct communication, hence Twitter, Truth Social, all of that. Each frustration basically became a cornerstone value, and it attracted millions who felt those same frustrations. It creates this powerful echo.
Okay, This flows nicely into our third revelation. The idea that values are forever, like set in stone. Masudi says that's an illusion. He reveals that your values naturally evolve, and that's actually normal. It's okay.
It absolutely is. It's more than okay, it's necessary. Your values shift with experiences, with age, with responsibilities. Like, you might prioritize adventure at 25, right? Risk-taking. But maybe at 40, with kids, stability and legacy start feeling much more important. That's not inconsistency, it's growth. Your brand needs to be allowed to grow with you.
And we can see this evolution really clearly in what Masudi calls the 3 seasons of Trump's value evolution. Season 1, like 70s to 90s, the real estate mogul phase. Dominant values, luxury, exclusivity, deal-making, all about premium properties, personal wealth. Then Season 2, 2000s, 2010s, the media personality. Values shifted towards entertainment, success, brand building. Think The Apprentice, celebrity status, a move towards mass appeal. And Season 3, 2010s to now, the political leader. Values become patriotism, strength, loyalty, focus shifts to national leadership, country, movement. Big expansion there.
Right, and that transition shows a really crucial, concrete action you can take in the annual audit. Just ask yourself every year, do my current values still feel like me? What's changed in how I see the world? And how can I adapt my branding without, losing coherence, without looking like I'm flip-flopping? Trump's pivot from business to politics while keeping that core authenticity, it really was a masterclass in strategic brand pivoting. Evolution isn't compromise, it's smart adaptation.
Okay, revelation number 4, universal value. Think of these as your master key. This is how you connect broadly. And get this statistic. From a 2024 Edelman study, 89% of consumers trust brands that share their fundamental value. 89%.
That's huge. And Masudi's work points to 7 key universal values for personal branding. Think of them as your toolkit. There's honesty, the bedrock of trust, respect, thinking about inclusion, responsibility, conscious impact, courage, daring to stand by your convictions, compassion, empathy in action, justice, equity as a core principle, and contribution making a positive impact. These are things pretty much everyone, everywhere can get behind. They resonate deeply.
And when you look at Trump's universal value strategy, despite polarizing positions, he really tapped into these. He consistently projected courage. I'll say what others won't. He invoked just fighting for the forgotten American. Contribution was baked into making America great again. And honesty, with the whole I tell it like it is vibe, these universal themes hit home, even for people who didn't agree on specific policy. Shows the power, right?
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating is the delicate balance Masudi talks about between universal and differentiating values. The winning formula seems to be about, say, 70% universal values, that's for broad connection, and 30% specific values, that's what makes you unique, differentiates you. Trump's brand kind of follows this. Maybe 70% broad themes like courage, patriotism, success, and then 30% specific policies that energized his base and set him apart. It's about being relatable, but also distinctly you.
Moving on to number 5. This one's crucial, and it's a real minefield. Values versus beliefs. Don't confuse them. Getting this wrong can lead straight into what Masudi calls the polarization trap.
It's such an important distinction, yeah. Values tend to unite, beliefs often separate. Think about it. Justice is a value most people agree on, but how to achieve justice, that's a belief, and people differ wildly. Innovation is a value. Which technology to prioritize, that's a belief. Patriotism value, how to show patriotism, belief. Success value, how to measure success, belief. Beliefs include your specific political opinions, religious views, ideological stances. They're much more granular.
So let's analyze Trump's navigation, values versus belief, through this lens. His core values were pretty unifying, at least for his audience. Strength in leadership, success winning, direct communication, American prosperity, broad concepts, but his specific belief, often very polarized. Things like specific immigration policy, particular trade strategies, partisan political stances, those divided people. So the mission for you, the listener, is kind of like Trump's in this sense. Defend your core values passionately, but be aware when you're expressing specific beliefs that might alienate parts of your potential audience. It's a strategic.
Okay, revelation number 6. Adapting your values to consciousness level. This is a bit more advanced, inspired by Graves and Maslow. It's basically a framework for tailoring your value messaging to where your audience is psychologically. It's about meeting their core motivational drivers for a deeper connection.
Right, let's break down some key levels relevant for brand. Level 1, provide value, purity, reliability, practice. Maybe your audience is like brand new entrepreneurs trying to slow. Your message basically, I help you not sing, Trumpsford. I'll protect American jobs and borders. Very base period. Then jump up to level 4, performance. Values are excellent, innovation, result. Audience might be growing on the message. I help dominate market. Trump's all make that's all about giving today. And then level 7, punch values like impact, sustainability, legacy, audience. Maybe establish message. I help you change the world. Trump's I'll make America great. General tap with that.
And what's really clever, Masudi points out, is Trump's full spectrum approach. The strongest brands often speak to multiple levels at once. His genius, in branding terms, was hitting these different consciousness levels simultaneously. Survival needs economic security, safety. Performance needs deal-making, winning. Contribution needs American greatness, legacy. That multi-level messaging, it created incredibly broad appeal across different psychological profiles within his audience, all without actually changing his core values.
All right, seventh revelation. Managing your audience's fears. This is a big one, maybe less talked about. Here's a key insight. Many, maybe most, purchasing decisions are actually motivated by fear, so your values need to reassure.
That's right. Masudi highlights three pretty universal business fears: fear of financial failure, fear of change, fear of judgment. We all feel these, right? Your brand's values can be the antidote. This leads to what's called the emotional bridge technique. Step 1, identify your audience's main fear related to what you do. Step 2, create a bridge value that directly transforms or counters that fear. And step 3, crucially, demonstrate this value consistently through your actions, not just talk about it. Build that bridge.
Okay, let's apply that to Trump again. He clearly identified a big fear, Americans feeling left behind economically, culturally, that sense of loss, his bridge value, strength, and those America First policies, directly addressing the fear. And the demonstration was constant through his messaging, his rallies, his policy positions. He kept reinforcing that bridge.
Exactly. It's about connecting emotionally by alleviating fear. And finally, our eighth revelation: your values as an individuation catalyst. This taps into something bigger happening culturally. Masudi talks about silent revolution, the age of individuation. Especially with younger generations like millennials, they tend to prefer brands that help them express their unique individuality. It's not just about buying stuff, it's about signaling who they are.
So there's a huge opportunity here. You can actually position your values as catalysts for your audience's authenticity. Instead of just saying, here are my values, try flipping it. Adopt the mirror brand method. The message becomes, here's how using your product service helps reveal your potential, your own core values. Your brand becomes a tool for their self-discovery.
Yeah, and the individuation toolkit offers some powerful catalyst values for you. Think courage, I help you dare. Creativity, I help you innovate. Authenticity, I help you be yourself. Freedom, I help you break free. See how these empower the audience.
And Trump's permission brand method, a perfect example of this in action. His own unapologetic style essentially gave his audience permission. Permission to voice frustrations they'd maybe kept quiet. Permission to prioritize national interests openly. Permission to speak directly, ditching political correctness. Permission to show pride. He let them be themselves, aligned with his brand's values.
Absolutely. His individuation toolkit was full of these catalyst values. Courage, I give you permission to speak out. Authenticity, permission to be yourself. Strength, permission to be tough. Pride, permission to love your country. It wasn't just about his values, it was about activating those same feelings in his audience, empowering them.
Wow. So as we wrap this up, you can really feel the incredible power of defining your values for your brand, personal, or startup. It's clearly not just some philosophical thing you do once. It's like building the operating system for your entire business strategy, your success, really.
Totally. And Ari Masudi's analysis of Trump's branding, again, setting politics aside, completely hammers this home. It shows that when values are genuinely rooted in needs and frustration, when they're communicated clearly, without hedging, when they're consistently demonstrated through actions and words, and when they resonate universally while still feeling personally authentic, that's when they become these magnetic forces. They just pull in opportunities, followers, success.
Yeah, they really become your decision filter for everything. Your magnet for the right community, the people who get you, your unique differentiator in a noisy market, and yeah, like you said earlier, your compass in the storm, keeps you on track.
And look, to help you actually do this, we've pulled Masudi's insights into a kind of concrete action plan, something you can tackle over 4 weeks. Week 1, self-archaeology. List your top 5 professional frustrations. Dig into the needs behind them. Translate those into positive values. Just get that first draft down. Week 2, coherence audit. Look at your content from the last, say, 3 months. Does it actually align with those values you just listed? Spot the gaps, the inconsistencies. Be honest. Week 3, resonance test. This is crucial. Share your drafted values with maybe 5 trusted people, friends, colleagues, mentors. Ask them straight. Does this sound like? Get that feedback and adjust. Week 4, strategic integration. Time to make it real. Rewrite your bio, your presentations using these refined values. Plan future content around them. And importantly, define your red lines, what you absolutely won't compromise on, value-wise.
That's super practical. And the ultimate promise, a big take, when your values and your acts find when they align, you're not just doing personal brand art. Just like in his own way, Trump didn't have a brand. The brand, love it or hate it, that alignment is powerful. So we really encourage, start your own journey. What will your value feel about you? And how will you become your brand? Thanks for diving lots.